We are going to watch the Asmongold video talking about the current state of Dragonflight. Here we go.
It looks like the new raid in WoW. We haven't really talked about this a whole lot because I haven't been playing it a whole lot. But by 9 weeks of Yggdrasil, the number of Mythic Farok kills was under 100. By this point in Aberrus, there were already over 300 kills of Sarkareth.
Wow.
Wow. What game is this? Yeah.
That means no one gives a shit.
I wonder why. I think that Dragonflight of Yggdrasil is current time frame from launch today is week 9 of the patch, and these are the kills. This is the last boss, second to last boss, third to last boss. There's a massive drop-off in kills between these bosses. Well, yeah. I mean, it goes from like fucking like 900 to 200. I mean, these bosses are really hard. It's not really that big of a surprise, is it? This time in Aberrus, the 9th week is on Wednesday, so you take a look at this, right? Sarkareth, Ethel.
Do you think the retail WoW dev team gives too much of a fuck about high-end raiding guilds? Do you think they should spend less time making content for top 0.001% world-first mythic raiding guilds and more time on content that more people are consuming?
Echo of Neltharion. And you can see very clearly that, like, there's a much better gradation of, like, people that are going from different bosses. Smolderon and Tendral blow Farak out of the water. It's just a shit boss. I mean...
It's true. Here we go.
Oh, my camera has it? Yeah. Sorry, I forgot it was up at the top there. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can see right here, a lot of people are killing the last boss. And,
Barbarian! TTV!
Look at Raszageth as well. Raszageth was pretty fucking hard, too. I think Raszageth was extremely hard. So it makes sense. And I think, obviously, Jailer was even harder. But, I don't really know exactly, like, why this kind of stuff is happening. But it looks like WoW is, I'm not sure if people are, like, raiding less. It seems like people...
I think this is true for every single expansion, every single version of WoW. The longer an expansion goes, the fewer and fewer people play it. So the first raid tier in every expansion will be the most popular. And the last raid tier in every expansion will be the least popular. And we have seen that not just with retail WoW, but also with every single version of classic WoW, right? And in fact, I can, like, pretty much show you right here. Yeah, right? And so what happens is there's a big spike with, like, tier 1 or tier 2, and then it goes down, and big spike, and then it goes down. Every expansion is just like, it's like a controlled demolition, right? As time goes on, things just sort of unwind. And then a new expansion comes out, and then it happens again. The cycle continues, is what happens. So it's not really surprising that this is the case in retail, to be fair.
People are probably... There's probably even more people raiding. It's just that these bosses are too fucking hard.
I kind of doubt that.
Like, that's what it comes down to. They're just too fucking hard. The fights aren't fun. Yeah. One-shot wipe mechanics suck.
Yeah, right.
Yep. One-shot wipes on Mythic are fine. I think that they're okay if, like, the entire group does something wrong. But the problem with, like, Mythic wipes, and this has always been the issue, it's like, remember on Mythic Starlogger, whenever if one person made one wrong connection, it would instantly wipe the raid. Well, it wouldn't instantly wipe the raid. It would put a debuff on the raid to make everybody take 200% more damage. So it would basically wipe the raid. So that's really the problem. It's like these constant checkpoints of every single member in the raid needing to perform an action, and if there's a mistake in that chain, the entire raid wipes. That's, I think, what the problem is. That's indicative of the amount of players raiding in general, or just difficulty of the final boss. It's looking like the difficulty of the final boss, and it's not necessarily because of the raid itself. And you've got some people talking about this. Scope on this post is called by Aberrus being more fun. Raid is fucking insane. It's literally just that Aberrus was very easy, and Tendral and Farak are major roadblocks that should have gotten nerfed nerfed by now, if not earlier.
This is kind of what I think it is also. I think it's a demographic problem. I think World of Warcraft has an aging demographic. Every year there are fewer and fewer new people joining the game, and so World of Warcraft has an aging population, right? That seems to be the case. And I think that the older you get, the less of a fuck you give a fuck, the less of a fuck you give about being good at video games. Has anyone found that to be true on a personal level? Give me your personal anecdote. As you get older, do you care less about being good at games? Because I most certainly do. Every year I go, I'd care less and less. I don't care. Right, my ego is every year detaching from video game accomplishments. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and give like kind of a hot take on this. I don't think that Blizzard should have to do nerfs. I think the Blizzard strategy of having to continuously readjust boss mechanics over and over and over is a tremendous waste of time. And they should have just made the bosses that are fair and well designed at the beginning and not have to massively nerf them. Because what Blizzard does is they're effectively making two versions of Mythic raiding.
Do you think Blizzard is doing this intentionally for the sake of having a competitive Race to World First? Like, does Blizzard like the Race to World First? Does Blizzard want to have a 12-day Race to World First? And then after it's over, then who gives a fuck? I guess they, you know, I mean, not I guess, they most certainly get a bunch of promotion from the Race to World First. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Can you come talk to us for a minute? Oh.
I ordered some baked beans so I can make.
Well, come talk to chat. Everyone missed you. Come say hi to them. Come say hi.
Hi, chat. I'm still a little bit sick, so I sound like one of those new women.
Sweetie. How was having your parents over?
It was so good. I already missed them a lot. But I'm not gonna bum anyone out, so yeah. About to make dinner, and I ordered some sparkling water for Matthew because he likes his sparkle water.
What are you making?
I'm just gonna make kielbasa and baked beans.
Kielbasa and baked beans? Well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, chat, let's get some hearts and also some Twitch Primes in the chat.
Yeah, Twitch Prime, please, so we can pay for the kielbasa sausage.
Okay, then we're going to keep on watching.
All
Thank
right.
you, sweetie. Okay. Seriously, listen, she puts a quota every day. If I don't get enough subs, then bad things happen to me, okay? So you guys need to sub. If you have a Twitch Prime, please. She forces me to stream until I meet the quota, okay? So play Pal World. I will play Pal World. Hi, sweetie. They're subbing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Thank you, Grumpy Bear. Thank you, Grumpy Bear. Thank you for subbing, Grumpy Bear. He subbed. Thank you.
They're making the top 50 world build version of Mythic raiding and the casual player version of Mythic raiding. I think that's outrageous. It's insane. I would love if they could just go back to making the raids like challenging but fun.
Master Quest and
I don't
Cyber
feel like
Demon.
there's any fun aspect of it. It's just challenging and hard and punishing. The race is.
Here's my copium. You can say I'm lying or whatever, but I really think this is true. I think this stuff it's not too hard for me. I'm talking doing Mythic Prog or whatever. Like I think if I wanted to do Mythic Prog, I could do Mythic Prog, right? I could. So I don't think it's too hard for me. It's just too hard for me to care about doing. Does that make sense? I don't want to spend my free time progging in World of Warcraft 4 months. I don't want to do that. It's not that I can't, it's that I don't want to. It's too hard / too annoying to want to do. Jack Gaming 3 months. Thank you. Master Quest. Thank you guys very much. It is so good to be back. Thank you very much.
It's super fun to watch at this difficulty, though. Solution?
The juice is
well,
not
who cares
worth the
about
squeeze.
The race
True.
goes on for a week and then that's it. Like, do you think Blizzard should design raiding around the raid race? That's insane.
That's what they do, I think.
Absolutely not. They shouldn't do that. Blizzard forgot the fun whenever they're making the raids? Yeah. Normal and heroic version raids were all we ever needed? Yeah, I think so too. It's the same as Final Fantasy Ultimate's. Hardest content should not allow deaths. Differences in WoW. Do it for BIS. Final Fantasy does it for cosmetics. Well, also, like, with Final Fantasy raids and with WoW, it's very different because you're comparing 8 players versus 20. Like, you basically have, like, a scaling acceptable level of fuck-ups with the amount of people that you have. So, like, if you're playing solo, it's reasonable that one mistake might cause you to die. But if you're playing with 20 people, if one mistake causes people to die at that same ratio, you're never going to get anything done. So it depends on what happens. Stop trying to make WoW an esport. Yeah, exactly.
Every single raid should be 40 man. Every single one. And it should be balanced around having 30 people. Nope, nope, that's a good take. That's a great take. Every raid should allow 40 people and should be balanced around having 30 people, okay? That is the best take of the night. That's
Isn't
true.
this a then just don't do it
That means every raid should be exactly like Molten Core.
situation?
True.
Then just don't do the
True.
raid if it's not fun. Yeah, I mean, sure, right? I mean, people just don't do it. I mean, that's fine, but I just feel like just don't play the game. I don't really think it's a great argument, is it? I mean, I'm not. Like, I'm not raiding. Like, it's not like I'm raiding every week and complaining about it. I'm not doing it because it's not fun, and I'm giving my opinion as to why I'm not doing it. Why are they spending resources to make content for the 0.1%?
Don't play Mythic if you don't want it to be hard to see Rook. Okay, you know what? Let's do some math. I actually want to see something here. I need to go to Warcraft logs. Can you guys give me like 5 minutes of math content real fast? Warcraft logs, classic WoW. Oh no, I want first off, I want regular Warcraft logs. Okay, is this retail? This is retail. Okay, so if we do progress, and in the past, every time I've done this little experiment, heroic is actually always the most popular raid tier, but let's look through this. Okay, so what is the most common boss kill? Gnarlroot, first boss on mythic difficulty here has 4, 7, 10 boss kills. What about heroic? Heroic first boss. It makes sense the first boss would have the most kills, right? Okay, so first boss heroic has 11, 4, 4, 8. Okay, so heroic is much more popular than mythic. Makes total sense. What about normal? And loading. This was 11. Normal is 11,555, and heroic again because I have short-term memory retardation. 11,448. Okay, so actually, in this case, normal is the most popular raid tier. Most people are doing normal, and it's very closely tied to heroic. But let's look at normal. Okay, so guys, what is the average raid size in retail? I think if you're doing normal, you can do flex raid between 10 and 30 people if you're playing retail. So is it fair to say the average raid size is 20 man? What do you think? If I'm looking for an average raid that is doing normal, what's the average raid size? If you guys could clue me in. 239. So what is that? 14? You think 14 is the most common raid size for normal? Okay. So let's do this. Let me walk through this. Where's my calculator? Okay. We said 14. Okay, so 14 times 11,555. 11,555. Okay. So these are all of the logged normal kills. And there are on average you think 15 to 20 is norm? Let's call it 18 then. Is that fair? Let's do 18. I want to be as generous. You know what? Fuck it. Let's say 20. Let's say 20. And you'll see why in a minute. 20 people on average per raid. And there's 11,555 logged kills. Let's say that's 231,100. 231,100. Okay? And then I want to go to Ironforge Pro. You know what? Let me open up a notepad. This is actually going to be cool. Okay, so retail raid normal is 231 1 characters logged. And then we have, this is the most recent week for, well, to be fair, okay, let's not do most recent week because that's not what we did for retail. Let's find the biggest week possible. Okay, this is classic Wrath, and this is ICC 411675 question mark. Do you not understand what we're doing? If I'm not explaining something, you should ask a question. Let me see here, because okay, so let me rewind for a second. When we're looking at the retail raid participation, I'm looking at how many people. Where's the Warcraft logs tab? I'm looking at how many characters total have participated over the last like several months. This raid has been out since November 14th. Let's call it 2 months. How many individual characters over the last 2 months have participated in this raid? Have killed at least one boss in this raid, and that number is this 231. Okay, and so then we have. It was those guilds are players. Those are guilds with an average of 20 players per roster. And then we have, this is, let's call this Wrath Classic ICC Top Week. This is in fact, doing this is actually way generous to retail, because this is a 1 week sample, whereas with retail we're looking at the 2 month conglomerate of every single week. Characters logged. Look at sod parses. Yeah, we are. We're gonna go to this, and we're going to do classic sod. And this is the top week of sod is right here, SOD, and this is 472264 sod, sod top week. What was it? 472264, 4722264. Okay, all weeks. Okay, characters logged. That's important. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you so you know what we have just done. In the last 2 months of the most recent retail raid, 231,000 individual characters have killed the first boss of the normal difficulty version of the raid. Okay? And that's over the course of 2 months. That's all the characters that have killed that boss over 2 months. And that's a very generous approximation. That's also assuming that every raid has 20 people, when they could in fact have 10 people, for instance. The top week of just 1 week, the top 1 week of ICC had 411,000 characters logged. The top 1 single week of SOD had 472,000 characters logged. Okay, and then the next copium is, and yes, by the way, normal is the most common raid difficulty in retail. Yes, in this raid, yes, not every raid, but in this case, we just looked. Yes, it is. Is that not classic population? This is not population, because the next point we need to think is how many people, how many does each player raid on each week in retail slash SOD. Okay, because this is important. So this number here, these numbers, this is not individual human players. These are individual characters. So it could be the case that if I'm one individual human and I raid on 3 characters per week, well, that is +3. That's not +1, it's +3, because I'm raiding 3 times on 3 different characters, right? And so you could make the argument, yeah, the SOD number is bigger than the Wrath or the retail number, sure, but it's more likely for people to play alts and to be raiding on multiple characters in SOD. You could make that argument. Is that necessarily true? I don't know. I think that playing alts in Wrath and retail is pretty common. I think a lot of people play alts and raid on multiple characters in retail, SOD, and Wrath. So it's like that's part of the equation that no one knows. No one knows, because people play alts in retail. People play alts in Wrath. We all know guys that play in Wrath, and they raid on 10 characters, right? I know people that play in SOD, they raid on 10. I know people that play on retail, they're playing on 10 characters. So it's impossible to know. But you can most certainly say more individual characters are raiding every week than in SOD or Wrath than in retail. That is true. That is most certainly true. And by the way, once again, this number 231,000, this is not 1 week. This is 8 weeks. Okay? This number, this is 231 over the course of 8 weeks. This number here is over the course of 1 week. This is also 1 week. So I don't know. The point is, this is my guess. I think way more people are raiding in Wrath and SOD than in retail. That's what I think. That is what I think. Can you say playing? More people are playing SOD or Wrath than retail? I don't think you could say that because, by the way, a lot of people play retail and they only do arena or they only do Mythic Plus or they only do achievement farming or mount farming and they don't raid at all. And so this number here, this is not counting people that are doing Mythic Plus. This is not counting people that are doing arena. This is counting only people that are doing the raid at some point in the last 8 weeks, right? Now, same for these numbers, but I think those like alternative demographics are bigger in retail than they are in Wrath or SOD. I would guess that. I think there are more people farming achievements and collecting mounts and not raiding in retail than in Classic Wrath. Do you think that's true? I think so. To be fair to retail. Let's keep on watching the Asmongold video.
I don't know. Final boss entire expansion is more difficult than final boss of the intermediate raid tier. How unexpected. Yeah. I just think that WoW, like, there's so much of a focus on making the game as hard as possible, man. Like, I think it's just there's just way too much stuff in the game. It's crazy. What was the last raid that you had fun doing? It depends, because, like, a lot of that is based off of, like, my stream. And so, like, I don't really know if I could give a good answer to that, because, like, whenever I raided for fun, back in, like, Legion and WoD and before then, I wasn't really streaming, so it was, like, a very different paradigm for me. It's hard for me to say. Eternal Palace? Well, I had fun doing Nilotha with, like, those corruption raids. Those were really cool. And I liked Vaults of the Incarnates. I thought that was a good raid. It was okay. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's perfect, right? But there were good things about it. I liked the raid. Aberrus, I think, was a good raid. I just didn't really do it a lot. I wasn't really...
You know what I have realized? This is kind of related a little bit. I have realized that I hate ICC. I really, really do not have fun raiding ICC. And ICC has been touted as one of the best raids ever made. Going back and doing ICC, I've realized I fucking hate it. I really hate ICC. I think there are so many unfun bosses. There's so many annoying fucking mechanics. I need to update my HP Smart driver for my printer right now. So sorry about that. Yeah, I just don't like ICC.
Playing WoW at that point.
I really don't.
But yeah.
You know, in fact, what is the best raid of Classic Wrath? Naxxramas. Naxxramas 25-man. Was fucking awesome. That was sick. That was so fucking fun.
Nathrias? Yeah, Castle Nathria was fun, sure. Do you think you'll make a hardcore comeback? No. I only really played hardcore WoW because I thought people were going to... I thought I was going to raid with that guild. And whenever I found out I wasn't really going to raid with them, I just stopped playing. Yeah, that was about it. Like, I don't really give a shit about it that much. Like, I get that some people like hardcore, but for me, like, you have to understand that, like, the reason why I play video games is to avoid everything that hardcore WoW is built off of. That is the one thing that I don't want. I don't want to have stress or pressure or tension or, like, a focus or anything like that. Isn't LFR super easy? It feels like retail gives players the options for easy casual content and hardcore hard content. Yeah, I just don't really think that's a good way to make a game. I don't think that the best way to make a game is to just add in the same fights, but just make everything do no damage. It's bad design. It's also useless. Like, the gear doesn't matter. It's like, it's whatever. Normal raids are easy. Yeah, I think normal raids are easy for people that have played the game 15 years, but I think you should look at it from the perspective of a new person. Yeah, LFR should be weenie gear. Well,
do you guys think that as a community, we could log into retail, spend 1 week getting gear, and then full clear the normal difficulty raid? Do you think we could do that? If we took 10 of us on new characters, spent 1 week getting gear, could we clear normal? You think it's is that easy? Normal is for retards, so yes? Well, then it might be hard. If it's designed for retards, it might be a little bit challenging.
I think so too. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think LFR should exist.
I'm worried.
I think you should just have normal and heroic. Make normal a little bit easier. Make heroic maybe about probably the same difficulty, maybe a little harder. And just start with that. That's it. You seen a monster in a world TikTok? No, I haven't seen that. Hardcore was nice for its temporariness. Yeah, I mean, you just don't want to be inconvenienced. Yeah, I don't want to be inconvenienced. You're basically right about that. Like, I don't want to play a video game and have my time wasted arbitrarily. Like, for example, if I'm playing a game and then, like, I lose my character because some
difficulties are cringe. This is the extent to which I want raid difficulties. 10-man, 20-man, 40-man. That's what I want. Okay, 10-man is the easiest. 20 man is the middlest, and 40 man is the hardest. There, perfect. They solved it.
Somebody
They
else
cracked
made a
the code.
mistake.
That's how they do it.
I have that happen, and I'm not having fun playing the game anymore. Like, I don't feel like I made a mistake, or let's say I did make a mistake. Let's say I did something wrong. Do I want to be punished that much for playing just because I made a mistake in a video game? No, I really just don't. Like, I play video games to relax. I play them for fun. And to the extent that a video game includes, like, extreme...
If you don't enjoy vanilla WoW leveling, you should not play hardcore. I think the people that enjoy hardcore the most are people that have just as much fun at level 7 as they do at level 57. They have the same amount of fun at level 10 or level 20 doing Deadmines as they do at level 60 doing Molten Core hardcore, right? That's your hardcore player base. For me, if I die, well, okay, I'm going to make a level 1, I'm going to have just as much fun. I enjoy every single step of the entire process. So if I die over here and I remake over here, that's fine. Same amount of fun. I enjoy every step of the process. If you're approaching hardcore with a like completionist mindset, or like I need to get to 60 and then I can have fun, it's probably not for you. It probably is not.
Punishments for lapses in focus or lapses in decision making. I'm not going to have fun playing that game, because I play video games so I can make those lapses in my focus, and I can just kind of lean back in my chair and play a game and just chill out. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to have, like, moments of intensity, right? I mean, like in Monster Hunter, right? I mean, you fight a boss, it's hard, and then it's over. And that's it. But, like, all the time, I just don't find that to be a fun thing to do. That's all there is to it. So you're punished by your guild for not wearing the tabard? Yeah, true. At a base, I'm over the stress bullshit. That's for young people. But Amir just said way more process and participation in Aberrus. Does it mean the game's kind of doing better for content? Well, I didn't say the game was bad. That's not my point. Well, I did in a way, but I said the last bosses are too hard. Never play Tarkov them, and yes, I've hate my life. Well, it's not really that. Like, for me, so whenever I play a video game, I'm getting something out of that video game in my mind, right? It's like a dopamine simulator.
I think simply put, we said this a half hour ago. I think the feeling he's describing is just called getting older. I think the older you get, as we said 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, the less you give a fuck about really challenging yourself in video games. You've got other shit to worry about. You've got other ways to spend your time that are more rewarding for you, right? You just get older and you care less about it.
Where, like, I'm playing the game, I'm feeling good about playing the game, I'm making progress in the game, I'm happy, and I want to keep having that feeling. But then whenever I die in the game, or I lose a substantial amount of progress, that reward structure in my brain is gone. I'm no longer feeling good about the game. I'm no longer feeling like I'm playing something and I'm working towards something. I'm feeling like I'm wasting my time. And why would I want to waste my time? There's no reason. You want to have fun and not be stressed over it. Yeah, exactly. Weird to me that you like Dark Souls games while explaining this? Well, no, because it's like Dark Souls, Monster Hunter, other games like this. These are games of temporary periods of intensity. So, like, yeah, I have to be focused whenever I'm fighting Gale or Melania or something like that. But all the rest of the time, bro, I'm AFK. I'm chilling, bro. Like, I'm riding around on that fucking horse, bro. I just find whatever I go over here, right? Yeah, it's whatever. So games have no risk? Well, I don't think that there's necessarily no risk. It's just that if the risk... So basically, for me, it's...
Okay, I think we are beyond talking about retail WoW, and now we're talking about his interaction with video games. I'm gonna upvote the video. Hit the subscribe button for Asmongold.